We're live. Three, two, one. Chow!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the one, the only place where you can come in, you can talk a little arm wrestling, you can chat it up with Uncle John and Gary Roberts on a Tuesday night. It is ARMTV Talk. What is up, buddy? What is up, Gary Roberts?
What's up, my man?
I'm doing well. I'm tired, but I'm doing well.
Dude, is it true you're injured right hand?
My shoulder is pretty messed up right now.
That mean I could beat your ass?
No.
No?
No, but I do have a super match coming up. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So I'm pretty much done doing everything now, just hoping that it kind of heals up enough for me to pull.
So what percentage will you be going into that?
Right now it's probably 40%. We'll see. Maybe a week will give us another 20%. The key will be, can I get enough adrenaline going during the match in order to not be bothered by it until after the match? That's the big question.
I heard you talking about I think it was Craig Tullier, and you were talking about him being the man with the energy and the hype.
Yeah.
You got to bring that.
I gotta get it up. Gotta get
dude.
Get real hyped.
Do you have that? I can't recall some of your matches at the moment. I've watched some of your clips, but do you have that potential to get fired up at the table?
So it's a real inner intensity. And I really try to hyper focus it all into this kind of little psychotic rage that just kind of simmers and bubbles and boils. But I work on it quite a bit. The psychological aspect of the whole pulling game. I do think about it a lot.
What do you mean by inner? Can I tell on video? That's what I want to know.
So you'll be able to see, like, if you go back and you look at my super match from March, you'll be able to see, like, the eyes get real wide and I'm just like, starting to breathe. You can see it in the face, but I'm not going to pound the table. I'm not doing a lot of like big, huge movements or yelling or anything like that. But the intensity definitely is there and ready.
All right, good. Well, I do like a little table pounding. So every once, okay, let me give you a little challenge. Just since we're you owe me one, okay?
Okay.
You owe me one. In your super match at some point, do a little table hit so I know a little shout out to Gary Roberts. A little bump.
We will see. It's a little bit out of character, but if I can get it going, I will do.
It doesn't even have to be fired up, just to like
little boop.
Just so I know you're thinking about me.
I'll do something for you. I'll do something. We'll actually be live streaming the whole thing on my channel. So I think I'm the first match, and then there's like 6 or 7 other matches on the card at least. And so we'll be going, but that's the same day as Brzenk and Chance Shaw.
Oh, okay.
And then all the stuff in Ottawa with Ian Carnegie and Curtis Cameron, that's going on.
Well, you're clearly the favorite. I mean, you're the
in the match that I'm having.
No. Of the weekends, you're the star.
Oh, yeah. Obviously. Who wants to watch Brzenk and Chance Shaw?
You're the big draw. You're the big draw, bro. Okay. Well, I'm not sure that
early. We'll be on early because we're going to be in Newfoundland, which means that's like an extra half an hour later than I already am in Atlantic time zone. So we'll be starting really early, and I think everything else will be going on a little bit later in the day.
I've got some terrible news.
Uh-oh.
That's my wife's birthday. And I don't think I'll be able to travel on that day. It's her birthday, and she wants to have a little birthday get-together.
Right. You're going to miss so much. Okay, so not only that, so it's my stuff is on that day, Chance and John Brzenk, the Ottawa stuff, and I think the PALs. I think there's a top 8 thing going on that day too.
Whoa.
Vitaly and Krasny.
Whoa.
I think it's that day. Is anybody
arm wrestling our wife's birthday? Oh, hashtag oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? We're gonna have to have a sit down. I'm gonna have to have a heavy duty comedy. Here's the whole thing. She wants to have a get together, which is like all her girls, like
Yeah.
mostly girlfriends. It's like,
Yeah. Do
dude,
you really need to be part of that?
do you need me? Duh. I, you know, I want to. Well, woof. Oh my gosh, you're killing me, bro. Okay, so
Big
uh,
day. Big
on a
day.
little side note here, Carolyn Loomis. Do you know who this is?
Oh, I see her all the time. She's all over the place, but I don't know who it is.
So she's saying, correct me if I'm wrong. She should be in the chat, but I think she's been a big fan lately. Like she's
Yeah.
starving for ARMTV content, and she wants me to do more live shows. She's mentioned it now multiple times, and it's like, hey, I feel you. I feel you. As I mentioned earlier, I've been working on this house, my in-laws' house that we're trying to sell, which we just are signing a contract tonight. So the work should be done. I should be able to get back into arm wrestling. But man, it really, when I sit back and I get some perspective, now that I've just been basically like a contractor on a house,
Yeah.
digging ditches, and I think how much work I was doing for arm wrestling. Now I've got into about 35 minutes of your show with Artem
Oh
on
yeah.
social media. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how anybody runs social media and a full-time job. Like,
Brutal.
I don't know how you do it. Like I personally, I mean, as I'm also got a young kid that trying, I'm trying to balance contract work and diapers and
A lot of
feedings.
stuff
And
going on.
so anyways, Caroline, I don't know if it's Caroline or Caroline, but I feel you trying to get back to that pace that I was at. So hopefully in the next couple days I'll have an ARM TV update and try to get back to my updating every 5 days sort of thing. But
Beautiful.
I digress. Thank you very much for being a fan. I invited her on the show tonight, but she said, because I was curious, it's like, hey, are you an arm wrestler? Are you just a fan? I wanted to know a little bit about you. But she says she'll take a pass. Well, anyways, Carolyn, thank you for being here, and we appreciate ya.
All right.
And okay, so you got your super match. What else? We got talking about. I sent you a message tonight, and I said, hey, what's the big topic?
Yeah.
Langston versus Tullier.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised that was going to be your headliner. Why do you say such things?
So Tullier and Langston happened over the weekend. Craig ended up winning 3-1. It was a pretty good match, I would say. But there was definitely some hullabaloo during and after regarding the rules.
Okay, can you repeat that word?
Hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that in a while. Where does that word come from?
I don't know. Somewhere in the Midwest, probably.
And what does that hullabaloo mean?
It's just bullshit.
I think
Like
Bob Brown,
an uproar.
Bob Brown in the video says, hey, don't get involved in the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it was Dallas trying to create bullshit.
Well, I think there was a lot of confusion. I think that so the big thing is they were using WAL rules, right? And people, what the WAL rules say and how the WAL rules are implemented are two very different things most of the time, right? The WAL, when they have Devin Larratt versus Michael Todd, are not following the rules the way the rules are written a lot of the time. Okay. So people have different ideas about what the rules should be or how they should be implemented. And I think there was some discussion. I think there was a big thing on Facebook. I think Eric Wolf was involved. Dallas was involved. Bob was in there. You know, Facebook arm wrestling discussion bullshit that I can't really, it's hard for me to get into it. Also, Daniel Urich, thank you very much for a $5 super chat. Support the sport. Yo, Gary, quote unquote, yes or no, Roberts and John.
What's that? Hey, I invited Bob Brown on the show. Hopefully I don't get Bob Brown tonight.
Yeah, we'll see if Bob Brown. So if you guys are out there, go check out Bob Brown's YouTube channel as well. He's put a couple videos up now discussing this. He's discussed the strap and the strap tightness. Also, he discussed the amount of time it takes to get to the strap, and also what you can and cannot do in order to get that strap. Because a lot of people have this idea that you can just like walk away from the table for 30 seconds in WAL and then just get a strap. When in reality, you, like, in my opinion, you have to make an attempt to get a grip. But that's something that we'll reassess once Bob comes in and see his perspective, since he was there. And I mean, I've seen a lot of it, but I maybe am not fully 100% up to date on all of the latest issues that they were talking about.
Okay, my first assessment of watching this match is, again, I hate to harbor on the little points that I keep bringing up, but on the ready go, like it's like it just drives me nuts to not even attempt to see a match out of the strap. Am I the only one that's bothered by this?
Well, I think that you left during the birth of a different style of arm wrestling, right? So I have gradually just come to accept it and learned how to participate in it. Whereas for you, it was like, it was one way when you left and it's another way now, right?
Okay, fine. But if what you're saying is true, why didn't they just ditch the regular grip up? What is the point?
Because it's a slow process.
If
It's like an
all
evolution,
of you
right?
just don't want to arm wrestle out of the strap, why
But that
didn't
not everybody wants to arm wrestle out of the.
but it seemed like all of you do.
Well, a good majority of people do, and it goes back to the same thing I've been saying over and over again. The guy that wants the strap can get the strap as long as he's smart enough, right? So if I want the strap, I can get the strap pretty much 199% of the time.
Okay, I watched Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome.
Yeah,
The
Tina
other day.
Turner.
Do you remember this movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
One man, two men enter, one man leave.
Yeah. The short guy. You almost sounded just like him. Well, the whole thing is, it seems like it's kind of set up to where you're meant to do one stage correctly before you kind of move on to the next stage. And everyone, like, I can't remember the first stage. You immediately go to one weapon and you try that. And then the whole goal is to get to another weapon. And then if you lose your weapon, then it's one guy with a weapon. Then it's all, no bar, whatever the thing is. Mm-hmm. But my point is, it's like there's a definitive stage of the fight.
Right.
And I feel like arm wrestling should be the same. Like, without the strap is one stage of a fight. And then the strap is the second stage. I just continually feel cheated when I see, it's almost like, okay, at some point, all fights, okay, let's use movies as an example. At some point, the guns or the weapons get knocked out of their hands, and then it's fist on fist and fighting to try to reach for the weapon, but nobody can, and then it's punching. It's almost like somebody stating, okay, I refuse to fight hand to hand. I'm only going to fight if we can have guns here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, dude, you get both.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me answer that. Jace with a $5 super chat. Uncle John has a weak hand and wrist. Thank you for the weak hand and wrist fund this week, Jace. Much appreciated. Okay, so let me give you this example, and this is a big reason why I often end up in straps. The way I arm wrestle is height and pronation and cup. A lot of the time, if I'm going against someone who is weaker than me or at the same level than me, I can usually dominate their hand. And what happens when I dominate high? The other person ends up like this, right?
Yeah.
So, which allows me to grab them. And so I have their hand like this. So they're running away from me. So, if I want to squeeze, then I could potentially try to put them down. But if they're just going to run away, like it's not my job to hold on to them, right? It's my job to arm wrestle. And if you want to run away, and we are in a sport where a lot of people try to run away. So it's whose job is it to hold on at the end of the day? So then it's just like, let's get this process over with quicker and get to the strap. So then you can't run away from me anymore.
So Cobra Rhodes is in the chat.
Yep.
I remember all the years of following Cobra. I never remember so many people running away. Like I get people want the strap, but it seems to me like back in the day, people would also be a man and fight before the strap.
Yeah, that's because they weren't smart enough.
And I don't mean to say that these guys aren't men. It's just, I don't know.
Look, Cobra. Here's the deal with Cobra, because Cobra always says, "I am the strap." Look, he just put "I am the strap" in the chat, and it's because Cobra and I have a semi-similar situation. Cobra is always high, and Cobra always has hand control. Cobra, though, has this iron frickin' grip, and he will just punish people for running away, right? Because he will come towards people. And I've been trying to do that too, but that's a little bit more of a difficult thing to get into. That's why Cobra is the master of it, right?
I got an example. I stole video for the first time.
Uh-oh.
Do you see the screen?
Yep.
And I didn't have time to ask Tim Lewis, and I was afraid he was going to say no. He's arm wrestling right here with Jess Hurley.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, Tim Lewis, if you're listening to this, the man has come a long way from the last time I seen him back in the day. He's clearly stuck to his training. Looks awesome.
5 to 7 years, I think Tim has really turned it up a level for sure.
Looks awesome. But I want to play this video, and I just want to get your take here. So I'm playing it. Yeah. You see what he did there?
So that should be an intentional slip called, unless it was an elbow fall first, which it looks like it was an elbow fall first. So then that was the correct call because the elbow fall occurred before the intentional slip.
Okay, so now he's in the strap, but why couldn't Tim Lewis have done that out of the strap?
Because he's
like here he pulls out.
Yeah.
And he's curling up his fingers. He's clearly trying to get away. But in the strap, he goes inside, and I just don't know why he doesn't do that out of the strap.
Because the strap allows you to pull differently when you're in it. Like you can use the strap. Your hand isn't necessarily. It's likely that this guy's hand is way stronger than Tim's hand. And outside of the strap, Tim's hand is going to get dominated like it was right there. So Tim was just going for the slip right out of the gate. If he would have got a clean slip right there, that's 100% an intentional slip, and he should get a foul for that. But the elbow foul happened first, right? Now, when he's in a strap, he doesn't have to worry about his hand as much. So he can pull and see how he drags it back with his lat. Because his hand is just strapped to the other guy's hand. He can drag with that lat. He's got massive lat strength, and then he just drags it back and over to the side. Game over.
Very interesting. Okay, so let's go back to Tullier in Dallas. So those were my opinion. Right away, everyone wanted. Well, did Tullier want the strap as much as?
No, Dallas wanted the strap more than Craig, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your take? It looked to me like Dallas was showboating in the match one, like he was over.
Yeah, well, I was so my pick, which I picked correctly, by the way, was Craig Tullier. I staked on Craig Tullier because I thought it would be very close. I gave it like a 60-40. Dallas is very, very strong and super dangerous when he gets in the strap in his certain positions, right? But Craig Tullier has so much experience, and he's got that mega explosiveness behind him. And I thought that was going to be enough to put him over the top. Now, that first match, I was worried, right?
Yeah.
Because it was like he got him. Dallas got him. I think it was the first match. I don't have the results written down. I can't remember exactly how everything went.
Hey, do you want to invite Cobra on?
Yeah, I can send
Send him a link.
Cobra, just click if you want to come on, just click the link in the description and you pop right in here. Come on down.
Okay.
So Craig then, I think, made some adjustments with the help of Bob Brown, and Craig really focused on making sure that he was in a good position once Dallas's hand went. And once Dallas's hand went, Craig was still in a good enough position to kind of get that shifted over, but Dallas is still massively strong there. And you can hear Bob Brown saying, I think Craig gets the wrist, which was obviously going to happen because that's the way Dallas pulls. Craig gets the wrist and he says, it's over. But Bob says, he's really freaking strong right there, Craig. He's really strong. Get behind it. And so with that kind of coaching and Bob's, good, Bob knows what's up when it comes to that stuff. So then Craig was able to get the wins, go in that direction.
Yeah, so, it seemed like, just endurance wise, Craig was getting stronger as Dallas was slowly kind of fading, especially as he was having to give up his hand a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and Dallas gets to that point quite often. But I think he was just Craig's got a lot of power in the spots that, are not so great for Dallas. So, and that's the way it worked out in the end. I thought it would be, 3-0 or 3-1 and ended up being 3-1.
And sum up the hullabaloo.
So there was multiple avenues of hullabaloo. One was just the interpretation versus implementation of WAL rules in general. The second was
wait. How did these guys not have the same interpretation going into a match? Isn't that kind of important?
Well, it's because the rules are garbage. Like the rules don't make sense. And if you don't read the rules, like here's the deal. Elite pullers do not read the rules, Gary. People do not read the rules. All they do is they watch the matches and they assume they know what the rules are, and then they go forward with those assumptions. The problem is the WAL does not implement their own rules the way the rules are written. And they will change those rules based on whatever the hell is going on at the table, right? I once saw Alan Fisher take 11 elbow falls in a row, and they kept restarting the match because they wanted Allen to go on in the tournament to be in the finals. Like, give me a break. This is 2015 in Vegas. I was 2 feet away from the table. Don't tell me it didn't happen.
Come on. Everyone knows that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You want Alan Fisher in your show.
Of course.
He is a little loosey-goosey with the elbow flying.
So here's like, we'll get more from Bob and his specifics, but here's the deal. It's like arm wrestling rules have always been screwed up. Arm wrestling referees and their implementation has always been garbage. Scott McGinnis and Arm Sport Videos just put out a video from Sit Down Worlds in 1990, and Cobra got screwed. One of the worst screw jobs I've ever seen in my entire life. And he got screwed, just straight up screwed. So this is nothing new. This is like the rules will be the rules, and then the referees will screw you. The rules will screw you. This is what arm wrestling is at this point.
And it was Dallas who was not happy with the rules. Was he the one?
Dallas? I don't want to put any words into Dallas's mouth that he did not say or did not intend or mean. But I think Dallas was just he was just thinking that the rules of the WAL would be implemented the way he thought they would be implemented, but they were not implemented that way. Meaning he could not just like remember when Greg Gray just didn't want to come to the table in order to go to a strap. I think Dallas kind of wanted to do something similar to that and just not come to the table for 30 seconds and automatically get the strap. Bob Brown said, well, that's not the way that rule works.
I mean, it's just a waste of time. The other one.
What's the other one?
Okay, let's say we're producing shows here. If I allow you just come around and F off and then you get the strap, it's like it's not
stupid.
It's not serving the advancement of anything. It's just wasting time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
no, I agree. I think you should have to make an attempt, but here's the art of the game. You don't if you can't figure out how to do 4 or 5 different things to fake that you are trying to get a grip, then you suck at arm wrestling. Here's the deal.
At least at that part, yeah.
Yeah, at that part, that's the deal, right? You need to be able to manage the referee, need to be able to manage your opponent. It's part of the game. Of course, I always assume, yes, I have to attempt to get a grip. But first off, I'm going to be that doesn't feel really good. Let's restart this. Oh, it's okay. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Then we're going to go back into it. And then he's going to grab my hand and I'm going to knock his fingers off my hand a couple little times. Then we're going to separate. Then we're going to come back in. And by the time you go through that 3 times and you change up what you're doing each time, 30 seconds has elapsed and you can go to the ref's grip or the strap or whatever the heck it is.
Cobra Rhodes.
Hey, Gary, how are you? Hello, all of our friends out there in YouTube land. Uncle John. It's
Cobra.
It's great to see you.
Welcome to the show.
In the house. Carolyn, what up?
Hey, Carolyn had a super chat, $3. Says Dallas match. The person tightening the strap equals instant disqualification.
She's been listening to the show. I love it. I love it. Cobra Rhodes, what year did you start arm wrestling?
1979.
And did you guys have straps in 1979?
No, on the slips you went into the power hook.
What? What's your first memory of actually straps being a main part of the arm wrestling?
Main part? Oh, right away in practice with Mikey Petrarca and Gabe Accardi. When we went to our first real practices, I was 15. At a real arm wrestling practice.
And they pulled out a strap. That was a stand.
No, there's just straps there. Mike, of course, because they understood. Mike had pulled out in Vegas, and he had taken a second to Johnny Walker back then, and just got back from India World Championships and such. So
okay, so you've seen arm wrestling across multiple decades.
A few, yeah.
We can agree you are an expert witness here. I've seen
a lot of things in arm wrestling, bro. I've seen some things you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. So I came in the early 2000s and I reviewed a lot of these tapes. I don't recall to such a degree high level ranking arm wrestlers showing so if you were to ask me, hey, what's your thought of elite arm wrestlers? I think elite arm wrestlers can do it all. That's what I think.
And pin their opponents.
Yeah.
An elite arm wrestler isn't really thinking about a referee because he just commands the table, So referee shouldn't even come into play. If you're elite, you can handle your business. And if you got two real warriors, 2 real guys that want to bang, the setup's not going to be a problem. It's the bitch asses that are moaning and whatnot that that keep people chirping. Oh, coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And nobody do it.
Forgive me if I'm repetitive with peeps in my chat, but I've yet to ask Cobra this. When you watch these matches and the guy says ready, go, and they just let go, did that happen in the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s?
Maybe not as much. You'd see guys do it, because some guy would think, oh, well, you got to realize the game has progressed technically, and there's no substitute for arm strength. And if a guy doesn't have the skills, if he's not Albert Einstein on the table, but he's got horsepower, yeah, he wants the hell out of there and just let you feel his arm. He doesn't have to worry about you crushing his joints and pressing into his wrist and giving him exploding hand technique. If he can just lay that brute on you, you're not strong enough to stop it. All the technique in the world is not going to stop a freight train if the freight train's got enough coal in the old engine,
Am I a bad arm wrestling fan for feeling cheated that I don't get a match out of the strap first?
No, I get it. I like to see, I'm sitting in the backyard, mosquitoes are biting up here.
You mean your bald self is biting you? That's what we see.
Quiet time. The arm wrestlers, yeah, just arm wrestlers. I like to see guys like really want to pull, but I understand if there's a little extra cash on the table for some guys now. Just winning like at all cost matters. Winning at all costs mattered in the 80s. It mattered in the 70s. It mattered in the 90s. It always matters. But now it's, the game's a little more scummier, but that's cool. I mean, you got to bring it. You still have to.
What do you repeat that scummier? Describe that.
Describe it. Just open your eyes, bro. But it's self-explanatory.
You mean the hullabaloo that Uncle John
that's an ancient arm wrestling term. Yeah, Uncle John's old school, bro. He knows it all. Can you see me, Tommy? Can you? There we go.
Uncle John, what the hullabaloo? Did it begin with which rule in particular?
Well, from what I heard, it started. Now I don't have firsthand knowledge of this. We'll have to ask Bob. But from what I heard, they had a discussion about the rules the night before the match. And the hullabaloo started then because it was all about, okay, what does this actually mean? Because this is the thing. Like, so I talked to Chance Shaw, and Chance was very high on Dallas because he's like, well, Dallas is going to get the strap no matter what because of WAL rules. And I'm like, I don't understand what you mean. You still have to attempt to get a grip, but some people think that you do not have to attempt to make a grip, to get a grip. I believe you do have to attempt to get a grip. I don't think it matters. If you're smart, it's not going to matter. But
why would you not? What if your opponent gives you shit that you're like, holy shit?
There's so much to be learned in that 30 seconds.
At least go up there and close your hand. You might grab dude's hand and be like, holy shit, I'm pulling my kid, and let him have everything. Many a match I have started because I made my opponent comfortable. And sometimes you feel somebody and it's like, oh, this is a layup line. How dare you not? Why make someone else give him another shot? You got to find out, jump into the plasma pool, bro. You got to get it. Why did you come here? Why did you fucking come here?
Danny New York, $5 super chat. Thank you very much for the money. We have a
Eric Rusin also says, I like that term, scummier. It's a good descriptor.
Yeah, Eric, we do like that. Scummier. Win at all costs. It's basically what it comes down to.
Like a New England win at all cost.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it really is, right? So think about it like this. So there's a thing that is done in video games called speed running, right? And so speed running is think about, everybody's played Super Mario, right? On Nintendo, the original. Yeah. And for a long time, the world record was 8 minutes. And then they started figuring out little tricks, and it got down to 6 minutes, down to 5 minutes, 4 minutes. I don't know what it is at now, but it's lower and lower and lower. And the same thing is happening with arm wrestling. It's how fast can I get to the lowest common denominator that will get me to the spot where I can win the easiest. And for a lot of guys right now, their most powerful position is strapped up tight.
Just relying on their arm strength.
Yes.
Because their arm wrestling IQ is limited. I get it.
Okay, strapped up tight. If I want the strap because I now want to go to my arm strength, why does it, again, just because I'm a newbie, why does the strap tightness, shouldn't I just be happy with the strap? But now I've got to be greedy and get it also the tightest humanly possible.
Well, it depends on how you pull.
You know what? But that's in that guy's mind also. You got the dude he's pulling has to man up as well. I mean, I am the strap. I'm not, how tight you want this shit, boy? You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter all that. Oh, he wants it too tight. I want it tighter. Fuck all that. Just get in there and bang. You talking hoe shit, and I ain't got nothing against hoes, but you talking hoe shit,
Jeremy James says, I need to spend more time on the streets. Be more specific. What am I not getting that you think the streets would teach me?
As soon as Cobra comes on any live stream, anyone else needs to spend more time on the streets.
Yeah.
Knows
I
it all.
can't stand the streets. What y'all doing in the streets? Get out the streets.
See,
When
smarter than us.
you
I'm
brought
a
it
slow
up,
motion pimp, man. You already know. I told you these mosquitoes are eating me. You don't see no bright lights. Big
dude,
city.
I would have a shirt on if there's mosquitoes. You are crazy. I
Do
cannot.
that, blood. Da. Just do that.
Uncle John, you mentioned some of the hubaloo was all also the strap tightness.
Yeah.
Are we there yet, or we got to talk about other things before we get there?
No, we can talk about strap tightness. I honestly I think Bob is going to have probably a much better take on the whole situation because he was there and he
Yeah.
knows the ins and outs of it. But generally speaking, depending on how you pull, so for me, I would prefer a little bit of a looser strap because I'm a hand dominant top roller and I want my hand to be able to move. I still want to be able to climb even if I'm in that strap, right? So a looser strap is nicer for me. But a lot of other guys who just want to be as tight as possible so they can ram their hand straight across the table as hard as possible. And
it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, but Uncle John, there's one thing in that, which I think a lot of top rollers and guys that are like it, because that is a common problem with arm wrestlers and like a top roller's mind. I learned to work through this in my craft, that there comes a time where you have to meet the challenge, which is all a part of that exploding hand technique, coming at that hoe, making them pay. So there comes a time where you have to punch the bully in the fucking nose. Yeah. And that's what your hand, you close your hand on somebody. How tight do you really want this strap, bro? You were running away the first time as was. To get to this, now you're not going nowhere. So if you can, that same top roll you're hitting without a strap, the strap should just enforce it. Now you can't go nowhere. But Bobby top rollers are thinking the opposite. They're running away from the power.
Right.
Fact.
Bobby Brown, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Your timing is impeccable.
What up, Bob? There he is.
Hey, what's up, brother? Oh man, that beard is that. You are sexy with that beard, bro.
Thank you. Hard work, baby.
Derek Smith, can you hear us?
I can.
Hi, Derek.
All right, hey. Bob Brown, you were there. We hear, according to Uncle John, there was a lot of hullabaloo about hullabaloo about this match. Can we go back a little bit, Uncle John?
Yeah. So Bob, I've been probably poorly attempting to explain some of the issues where there's a discrepancy between what WAL rules say and how WAL rules are implemented. Also, specifically talking about how you can get to the straps, whether you need to make an attempt to get a grip or not. And then finally, we were just about getting into the tightness of the strap. I just watched your video, so I didn't want to go too far down because you will be much more eloquent at explaining that than I.
Right. Well, yeah, there's been a little talk. I mean, I did that kind of rule interpretation for the WAL. It is true that I wrote most of the WAL rules. Basically, what I focused on, though, is how do you verbiage in words the running foul system. That's really the part that I did.
Bob Brown, could we, just because this is so interesting, could you give us a 30 seconds to 1 minute who you are and how did you come to be the guy who actually wrote wall rules? Like, how does that happen?
Can I introduce Bob? Do these folks know Bob Brown? Anybody in here don't know Bob Brown? Get the hell out.
I mean, we do, but I want.
Okay, 30 seconds. I started arm wrestling in probably 1983. Been around the sport forever. Was arguably the top arm wrestler in the world at 154 by like 190 by 1991. I've had every injury under the sun. I've traveled around the world at all the elite high tournaments.
Facts.
Trained with Brzenk for 20 years. I lived on the East Coast where it was mostly AAA style arm wrestling. I moved to the West Coast or Utah, where it's USAA arm wrestling. I'm very familiar with all the rules, and I'm the guy who actually reads all the rules because I want to know what's going on. I mean, I've probably been to the Worlds, I don't know, 10, 15 times. And every year I go, I reread the rules. I make sure I know what I'm doing.
Bob Brown,
managed,
Uncle John says arm wrestlers don't read the rules.
They don't.
Why you? What made the difference?
I don't know. Maybe I was going to be a lawyer in some other life. I don't know. I do, and
Bob's about that life. He knows arm wrestling.
Yeah.
He's about that life.
I mean, here's what's crazy. So I've been to the Worlds for, I don't know how many years, right? And every year if you want to protest the call, it costs you like $50 to protest the call. And so I tell all the Team USA what the rules are, what they need to do. In all those years, in every protest I've ever done, I've never lost one. I always get my money back. Because, it was beautiful. I got called for lifting my butt on a sit-down arm wrestling table during handicapped arm wrestling. The guy called a butt foul. I'm like, guys, this is not sit-down arm wrestling. It's handicapped. I don't have to sit down. And so I won that protest. And freaking 10 minutes later, I got called for it again. So anyway, but to bring it back to the WAL, here's the deal. And a lot of people have been asking, they're thinking that, I tried to screw Dallas, and that's not the case at all. Dallas did an interview with Devin Lorette where he talked about it's WAL rules and we're going to the strap, and somewhere that, got posted on Facebook. And so, because all I have is Facebook.
Oh, Dallas said that we're going to the strap
in an interview with Devin Lorette.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the tournament. And because it's WAL rules, right? Dallas wanted WAL rules. Craig agreed to WAL rules. Well, when he said that, and I saw it, I posted in the thread, I forget the exact words, but it was, you should probably read the rules. Okay. And then Dallas himself, he put a thread up, and I'm forgetting exactly what it said. He was kind of hyping himself up, saying this thing's definitely going to the straps. It was something like WAL equals straps. And so once again, in that thread, I said something along the lines of, you should probably read the rules.
Of course you did.
So, and so if I'm Dallas, and Dallas knows me, I mean, he used to live here. We used to train together. And Dallas knows I'm the rule guy. So if I'm sitting there saying you should read the rules, well, maybe you should read the rules.
Okay,
and
can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Why is there this mass belief that wall equals straight to straps?
Because you have never seen someone just simply stand there, wait 30 or 60 seconds and get the strap. What you have seen is on TV, some guys go up there, fidget around, act like they're fighting, fight with the ref, walk off, get chalked, come back, fight with the ref. And after 30 or 60 seconds, they were given the straps.
I hate it.
Okay. But you've never. And I'll admit, on TV, they actually had a 30-second clock, right? And as soon as the competitors came to the table, you saw that clock start. Someone, when I said this has never happened, somebody brought up Jamie Sheldon, Alan Fisher. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go watch that match again. And sure enough, Jamie Sheldon gets up there, fusses around, says something to the ref, puts his arm down, goes and gets chalk, comes back, whatever, plays the game. And Bart says strap. And so, but no one bothered, I guess, to watch the second and the third match, because right before the second match, you hear Bart say, if you don't follow my commands, I'm going to foul you. Right? Because again, Jamie wasn't following the commands. So then all of a sudden, Bart says, look, you got to follow my commands or I'm fouling you. And then, of course, in the third match, he comes up there farting around and he fouled him. He gave him a foul. So why this whole concept of you can just stand there and wait 30 seconds has been just high-level arm wrestlers talking about it when it's really not true. And in WAL, on the TV, they did reduce it to 30 seconds. But in their rules, because they don't ever bother to change what they wrote, because they're not a very good organization, not very organized, it still said 60 seconds. Okay? So then, you know, people are like, well, you just dismissed Rule 3. And I'm like, no, we didn't dismiss Rule 3. But all the other rules, if you read them, it talks about the grip and what you must do, and that you must listen to the commands of the ref or it's a foul. Then the WAL rules, they have a foul section, and it says all this stuff are fouls. And 3 or 4 of them are things that happen before the go, you know, like not getting your grip and stuff like that. So, and I've asked, there's only really been like a few people that have really complained about what happened. And I've asked all of them. I'm like, well, you tell me, what would you do right there? How do you interpret or how do you apply this Rule 3 that you're all complaining about along with all the other rules? Okay. The only way you can have all the rules followed is you need to be Jamie Sheldon and get up there, put on the fake act, put on that, wait for 60 seconds to go by, hope you didn't get too many fouls, and then you've got the strap. Well, once Dallas realized this, he decided, you know what? I don't want to risk getting fouled. Let's forget the 60-second thing, and he's just going to slip. Because he's great at slipping. You know, he really is. I mean, he got all but every match that happened. He got every slip but the one that he got parallel pinned on. So ultimately,
Bob Brown, am I allowed to bring up your channel and put up the video a little bit while you're talking?
Yeah, if you know how to do that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. But go ahead. Yeah. You know, so ultimately, he got every slip, you know, except for the one that when the slip occurred, he was, you know, his hand was well below parallel pin. And, you know, that was his first loss, was that second match. And other than that, they all went to the strap. So, you know, I don't know, you know, people said he was ambushed the night before. And I'm like, no, I told him days before, you know. And what's really funny is, you know, during the meeting the night before, when the 2 refs, Justin Green, who put the tournament on, and the 2 pullers were talking, for most of the time they were going over the rules. I wasn't there.
Oh, this is the event, huh? Cool.
Oh yeah, this is it. Yeah,
okay.
that's
hey Bob, before I even see this, what do you say about the officiating? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I think they did a great job.
That's all I needed to hear, man. That's pulling. That's all I needed to hear.
Up. So as we get into this video, I just want to say Daniel Urick, $5 super chat. It says everyone has a plan till they get their wrist cracked.
Bust them open, boy. Bust them open.
Another $5 super chat from Daniel says, guys, lion straps are the shit. Derek's homeboy hooked it up.
Daniel
and everyone who's watching, if you're not subscribed to everyone in the channel, but specifically Bob Brown, this is Bob Brown Arm Wrestling channel.
Get on, Bob.
Please go support
Thank
one
you.
of Arm Wrestling's newest YouTuber.
And
Bobby Brown.
speaking of Bob Brown, Carolyn Looms, $2 super chat says, Bob Brown, IFBB called. They saw your triceps.
Damn it. Damn it.
Actually, you know, okay, I think she commented on one of the my threads or videos, and I was like, cool,
thread.
all right, I'm looking good.
Nice.
Derek Smith,
Yo,
welcome to the show. I would like to know, do you read the arm wrestling rules?
I've read them, not too thoroughly though. I mean, I've read them, but I've also arm wrestled against people who live by them, and so I'm not one of those people. That's for sure.
You say you read them, like it sounds like you read the one set of rules. You know, we were talking about the different set of rules.
He read that rule that said pin your opponent. That's the rule he read.
Right. Exactly. Hey, and I'm the first one to say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So
Right. Get or did, I guess.
Yeah, man. Hey, you do whatever you got to do. But, you know, at the end of the day, if someone's going to say something about the rules and it is in fact the rule, well, then, you know, you're going to just have to follow it. You know, I mean, to me, at the end of the day, all these matches really went to the straps. I mean, you can see in the first round, Craig tried to hook Dallas. And I'll be honest, I mean, Dallas, his back pressure really impressed me because I really thought Craig would put him in a hook and throw him right to the pad. Like
Armbender got caught. He caught Craig.
And Armbender got stopped right before the pin pad. He went for another hit, and it was dangerously close to a pin. But
did he keep his elbow down?
His elbows were flying. I think he got called for elbows two or three times.
You know, he's too impatient. He's too good to be that impatient, and he trains harder than anyone. He's got the endurance. He needs a Valium before he pulls, bro.
Yes, I don't disagree with you.
He needs a Valium because he's better than he's you know, he's making his matches more difficult.
Right.
He can take his time.
Right.
But he wants it all right now.
First match, I don't know if this is the first one or not, but since Craig is trying to hook him and Dallas is back pressuring, at some point during the match here, Dallas is gonna flop Craig's hand, and boom, and you know that's the end of the match.
Yeah, he looked like he was showboating a little bit, like he thought, "Oh, I got this, no problem." Like he celebrated a little too early.
Well, you mean Craig or Dallas?
Dallas.
Well, no,
it looked like he owned him there. He caught him sweet.
Yeah,
Craig was stuck in the mud off his shoulder.
Yeah, once Dallas cracked his wrist, Dallas did have him. I mean, Dallas said it. The mistake he made is Dallas kept on arm wrestling.
Pause that. That match right there, it looked like Dallas was like saying to the ref something like, "Whoa, that's a quick start," and Craig stopped, but the match continued. Play that match one more time, because Dallas is almost like laughing at the ref, and then the match continues, and
I can tell you what happened.
No one said stop.
Right. I can tell you what happened. Craig thought he pinned him.
Okay.
Craig thought he pinned him.
Shame on him then. Shame on him.
You know, and then when Dallas flopped his hand,
but look on the go, Dallas is like laughing at the ref, like, "Are you serious? I wasn't ready." No.
Right.
Yeah. Were you nervous right there that that this was gonna be a sweep on Dallas's side?
Not as nervous as Craig was.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I just simply walked over to Craig and said, "You'll see me walk over there at some point." And I just walk over to Craig and say, "All right, you can't hook him. You have to top roll him."
Yeah.
And Craig's top roll is really, really good, so I wasn't worried at all.
Really good.
Uncle John said before you came on that pretty much. I don't know if Uncle John said this exactly, but if Bob Brown wasn't there, would Craig Tullier make these adjustments to beat Dallas? Like, did he win because of your coaching?
No.
It didn't hurt, but he's capable.
Craig is a very smart arm wrestler. He's a very smart arm wrestler.
But you are a very good coach, and you were calling out good commands.
Yeah, good corner. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, for everyone in the chat, I want to make sure that first match, if you have a chance, go back and look at the trajectory of Craig's hand, because everything changes after that first match. Everything he's doing, his hand placement changes dramatically, and it changes everything about the way the match goes.
Right.
Very great analysis there, Uncle John. Very good. See, man, listen, the networks are going to snatch you up, Uncle John. Arm wrestlers, enjoy Uncle John right now while we got him.
Derek, what was your call on this match previous?
Who did I think was going to win?
Yeah, like give us your take.
Well, I mean, obviously Dallas is my buddy, so I was going for Dallas. Although I know Craig's amazing, but I know Craig had kind of been on his way back up recently from his surgeries and stuff, so I didn't know where he'd be. So I had Dallas as a favorite, especially. I mean, thinking I was with Dallas in regards to thinking like this was going to be a strap WAL straps all the time match. I mean, I wonder if Dallas would have even taken the match if he didn't think he was going to be in the straps easily each time at the beginning.
Really?
You know?
Oh, that's big Cody reffing. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Cody reffing.
So
Okay.
you too, Derek, you thought wall equals just go to the straps.
No. But I get what Dallas is thinking. Like, honestly, do we think Dallas would have said yes to this super match if he didn't think he was going to be in the straps each time? So did Dallas travel to Utah under the pretense in his own mind that he was going to be in the strap each time, and then find out the night before, oh, by the way, they didn't happen after months of prepping? That sucks.
Well, and Derek, that's
Here's the ambush
why.
in his mind.
That's exactly why when I saw him post WAL equals straps, I commented, you should read the rules. And when he did his interview with Devin and said that, I commented on there, you should read the rules. So,
but didn't he live out there and you guys good friends? But wouldn't like a phone call or something like, hey, it's not gonna go the way you think? Like, why wouldn't you just tell him like, hey, you're not gonna get the straps that way? Like,
well,
you know what I mean? Why?
Because, and well, I'll be honest as to why. Yeah.
Wait,
no.
can I say something?
Sure.
I've known Bob Brown for a long time, and that's exactly what Bob Brown has said to me. He never corrects me. He's like, read the rules. Read the rules. Like he wants you to do your own homework. Right?
But I mean, at the
Dallas
same time, I guarantee he was more thorough with Craig, you know, in prepping Craig and telling Craig, hey, this is what's going to happen. The straps are going to get tightened with one pull. He's not going to get them. You know what I mean? I'm guaranteed he was more thorough with Craig than Dallas, his friend who lived out there as well. You know what I mean?
Man, that dude was holding Craig, and Craig had a full top roll. That dude is strong.
But
Dallas Langston is his name.
Yeah, Dallas is crazy strong. But here's my question. At the end of the day, Bob, what was the rule about getting to straps? Like, it's still all Dallas had to do was make a theatrical effort.
Right. So
right?
the night before, so you're right. So the night before is when we went over everything in detail. And like I said, and honest, I wasn't there for most of it, but I was there for the two critical parts, which was this
Intentional slip.
And what he said something like, we just go to the straps after 30 seconds, he said. And I said, well, not actually what the rule is. And I said, you have to at least attempt to get a grip. And it is possible that you'll get fouled if you're not listening to what the ref is telling you to do. Right. And so
okay, hold on, Bob. This match right here, this is straight to the strap, correct? I didn't see a slip.
no, there's no match that went straight to the strap.
None? I can't find
None.
a slip on this.
Back it up, baby. Back it up. This guy Dallas is strong.
But
Wow. Craig
Well,
had
so
everything
the night-
in that last match, and he didn't go anywhere. That's very impressive, strength-wise. He kept his shoulder in there good too, but Craig had everything.
so the night before, Dallas, when he
Craig
realized,
Lawson.
hey, I might get some fouls during the setup, he just thought to himself, forget it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, it
We'll
was an
just-
elbow foul on Tullier. Okay, can I just interject? My opinion is if there's a foul, why did they take off the strap? Why don't they just keep him strapped up and finish the match?
I don't know.
Because you get a lot of downtime when you walk away from the table, and it's a unscheduled rest break.
I'll tell you what, after a pull like that right there that we saw, neither of those guys are mad about it because they're both scared now. Their arms are pumped up.
So my bad. That was a elbow foul stoppage.
Well, and no one complained anytime.
Yeah, none of those guys are mad being out of those straps for a second, getting a breath and thinking about how scared they are.
I only say because of my shows, if I put on a tournament, my rules for now on, if the elbow foul, there's no strap. Once the strap is on, the strap does not come off until the winner is determined. That's my opinion. My events. That's what I'll do.
That's that kind of the way Travis wanted to do it back in the day, right?
It just it keeps progression. I want to keep moving forward, not extra breaks.
Gary, did you film that show that he did in that thing where I think Todd finished second to Big Dave?
What year?
It was the first time that he did the one weight class thing on a big scale.
Time Todd broke his arm or tore his bicep tendon.
Yeah, Todd did. Yep, and that against Dave right after Todd beat me.
No, yes. I don't think I was there.
Right, because I finished third in that thing overall, right?
Yeah. And let me catch up on some super chats here. Mike Hawk says these refs turning into boxing judges, peons. Carolyn Loom says arm wrestling, poor planning, not reading rules, no excuses. Then Daniel York with the $5 super chat says, I was going to ask who parked the dump truck in front of the table, but I realized it's just Cody Merritt.
Okay, can I say I gotta say something because I thought the refereeing done extremely well. The one thing I noticed that I saw in this particular show here is the refs are going above and beyond to try to make everyone happy. Like right there, they just took off the strap. Dallas is complaining, wanted to get more chalk. It's like I think you're being too nice to the arm wrestlers. Like,
I 100% agree.
Like, I mean,
I'd rather referees be nice than mean. And believe me, referees have been mean to me.
Like Gary, this isn't a tournament match. This is a super match. These guys have bet their own money on it. This isn't to try to speed up for time for the tournament.
No,
this is two guys betting their own money.
But it doesn't even matter, man. You want to see fair matches, and I like everyone to be happy. But
I don't know.
Someone always got a sore ass. Someone always got the red
ass.
I
agree. I agree with Derek. When two guys are challenging each other, okay, whatever the two guys decide on is the way it should be. I mean, it's just up to those two guys. And I don't give a shit about this arm bet stuff and all that. And there's lots of money on this match. It should be one way or another. I don't give a crap about that. It's whatever the two guys agree to. Okay. And in this match, you know, Dallas wanted the WAL rules. Craig agreed. Originally, it was going to be me and Justin Green being the referees because this whole event was for charity. So no one's getting paid, right? I'm like, yeah, I'll ref it. Dallas found out that I had a bet on it against them. So Dallas didn't want me to ref. Perfectly understandable. I completely agree. So I didn't want to ref it anyway. So then Dallas wanted Tim Talmadge and Cody Merritt to ref. So he asked Craig, is that okay? Craig's like, yep, that's okay. You know, it's fine. And so, you know, we ended up having the match.
I am shocked that 2 months can go by and there be a miscommunication on this wall equals straps business. You're saying, Derek, Friday night, Dallas Langston believed he was going 100% to the strap every time?
Well, I know that after their meeting, I was in a chat with Dallas and Jamie, and we're talking because, you know, we talk a lot, the Southern California guys, and he was a little shocked after the meeting. He was like, they had some weird rules. We just had a meeting, and like he says that they're gonna his interpretation that he was gonna get fouled 100%. Not he might get fouled if he goes to the straps, but that if he tries to you know, work the grip and you get to the straps, fouled 100%. And that and that he was told that the strap will be tightened with one pull, no more. He will not go any tighter. suddenly, like, normally it's just pulled to like, all right, it's pretty tight, let's go. But he said, like, if they're strict on it, we get one Titan, like just things that he wasn't prepared for that haven't been voiced before. And so I just know that it was a big shock to him after that meeting, which was not what he was expecting going out there, which sucks. I mean, that would suck to prep that long and then suddenly get your mind blown.
Here's what I'll say to that. I've been to I don't know how many world championships. And at the world championships, you'll have anywhere from 20 to 30 Team USA members. And we're all there. We've already paid. We're already there. And it's at the world championships that you find out all these arm wrestlers don't know the rules. They think their elbows can bobble a little bit. They think they can, mess around and cap their, cap over top of their thumb. And I'm like, guys, are you freaking kidding me? You come all the way to the world championship on your own dime and you're going to bitch about the rules now? Oh my gosh. Like,
hey,
I don't want to hear it.
I got some trivia for you.
Okay.
In all of my WAF events, I have 3 fouls total.
Is that the trivia?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there you go. Right.
So I'd like to say to Derek's point, who was in charge of this event?
Justin Green is the one who put this together, I think.
Okay.
Justin is friends with Dallas.
It's not Bob Brown's job to make sure.
Yeah, no.
It's not his job to make sure Dallas knows what's up.
I'm getting thrown under the bus, and that's fine, because I'm the rule guy. I got that, no problem. But and Dallas, again, like I said before, Dallas knows me. Okay, he knows me well. Even in the interview with Devin, he said one of the things he was worried about was Bob Brown messing with the rules or bringing up some new rule, which is exact. Or I forget the exact words he said, but he was worried that I was going to do something that pertained to the rules, which is exactly why I said in that thread, you should read the rules. And then when he made his other thread about WAL equals straps, again, I said, you should read the rules. And then he admits after the tournament, he never read the rules. So I honestly don't feel bad at all. I mean, I like Dallas. I think he's a great arm wrestler. He's a really nice guy. He did a couple of things that upset me, but then he's done many things that have impressed me, not just as an arm wrestler, but just as a man. He's done some things that impressed me just recently with the way he handled, talking to Craig. I was like, he's a solid guy, but I don't feel bad at all. What
made you mad, Bob?
I don't want to get into that.
All right,
but when he comes,
give us dirty words.
I'm not going to get upset at all. If a guy comes ill prepared, it's not my concern. I'm not going to be upset about it at all.
I would like to go on record and say that I found this conversation so far to be fascinating. I'm really enjoying it. Is there any way, Derek, you can get Dallas? I'd love to know about this. Like,
this is great.
We should not have this problem in the future regarding
it's not
wall
a problem,
rules.
No, it's not a problem, Gary.
No,
it's not a problem.
I'm talking about miscommunication on what wall rules equals. Like,
okay, no,
it doesn't matter, man. It's just arm wrestling, bro. Don't get caught up in the rules. It's just arm wrestling.
There's
many a feeling has been hurt arm wrestling. Believe me.
No, but I'm saying no arm wrestler from now on for their eternity should train for 2 months, not recognizing when and how a strap is applied.
Hey, Gary, do you know sometimes there are tournaments where guys are at their very best that they've ever been in their life, and it doesn't matter because they've been fucked out of titles?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
But
so
it's still
it's gonna happen forever. You don't change,
nobody got fucked in
one
that
time
event.
something
Nobody
goes
got
bad.
fucked in that event. Tell him, Uncle John.
No, I I feel bad because this is probably the fourth podcast I've talked about Dallas Langston without actually inviting him on the show. So
All right,
at
let's
some
just switch
point,
it up while we
I
while we
should
got
say-
while we're in there. Let's go on a positive vibe tip just for
Well,
5
okay,
minutes.
well, hold on. Bob Brown. On the topic of how tight should a strap be, Uncle John said you just posted a video, and that's right along the lines of my passion. I really want to get behind the whole, like, I think the refs should have a equal tightness for every match they ever do, and never have an athlete be able to change that. What is your video about?
It's basically what you just said.
And how did you come to that thought process?
Well, what do you do, right? Because there's only one place there's ever any rule ever mentioned anything about how tight a strap should be. And it's in the WAF. And the only rule says if a competitor wants the strap loosened, he can ask for it to be loosened if it's too tight, hurting his hand, cutting off circulation, things like that.
It hurts.
There's nowhere it says a competitor can ask for the strap to be tightened.
I'd be like, oh, get off the stage.
But here's the question though. I mean, if we're just talking about fairness, what do you do when one guy wants it really, really tight and the other guy wants it loose? What do? You just, in my opinion, you just snug it down, a good solid snug, and you're done. You know? And that's what I do at the Worlds. You know, if I end up in the straps in the Worlds and I want it loose, you know, sometimes I want it tight, but sometimes I want it loose. I ask the ref, I'm like, hey, he wants it really tight, I want it really loose. Can you just snug it and call it good? And the refs are like, yeah, you know, and then inevitably what happens is the guy who wants it tight is like, crank it down. And some refs are just so used to tightening it again, they do it. And I'm like, hey, ref, we just talked about this. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. And he loosens it back up. But I mean, so like, that's the fundamental question. What do you do when one guy wants it tight, the other guy wants it loose? Just put it on. I asked this question. I talked to all the head refs today. Leonard Harkless, Bill Collins. I talked to Tim Talmadge because he was there. Luke Pulcher, Bart Wood. And I'm like, so let me ask you this question. After you've applied the strap, it's already, you have cranked it down however hard you feel is appropriate, like it's on. What percentage of time does someone say, tighten it down more? And it was an overwhelming percentage. You know, like most times, one guy wants it tighter. And so
when watching Ing and Terzi's event live, that's what I noticed is the strap get applied, and then somebody would be like, nah, can you get, and you know, and I was like,
little pissing contest. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Because most arm wrestlers, here's the reality. Most arm wrestlers have no idea that they can just say no.
Yeah,
I mean, it's unbelievable. The only written rule is about loosening the strap, and like no one knows this.
Just say no.
So, I mean, and here's the reality, you know. So if a guy wants it tight, here's what I think should happen. The referee, you know, he's already put it on. Remember, he's already applied a strap with no looseness. It's not loose at all. It's been tightened down. And then the other guy says, I want it tight. One guy says, I want it tighter. The other guy says, no. What do?
You don't tighten it.
I say you just leave it right where it's at. Now, let's face it. Let's talk real world. Every arm wrestler wants that strap down low on their wrist. Okay? So everyone says, put it low. The referee tightens that strap down, and then they fight for a grip. Now, in the WAL, you don't fight for the grip, but in every other organization, you fight for the grip. And what happens? The strap then rides up your wrist and becomes a little bit looser. And inevitably, the guy who wants it tight says, tighten it down. Well, in my opinion, why would you listen to that guy? without asking the other guy. Would you like it tighter? And if he says no, well, then you're just done. The strap had been properly applied. It was tight. And then with the actions of moving around, it loosened up. You just got to deal with it. And I'm not talking about loosening it up like the buckle where the strap went into the buckle started to loosen. No, that never changed, So why do you give the advantage, or why do you always listen to the guy who wants it tighter, without at least asking the other guy what he wants?
I agree. Pause for station identification. We have a new person in the Jamie Sheldon, Mr. Natfit. Welcome to the show.
What up, Jamie?
Uncle John, do we have any super
up,
chats that need to be caught up?
Where's Jamie at? Oh, there he is. What up, Jamie? What up, Big E?
Jamie, Bob Brown earlier said you were the only. What'd you say? Jamie's the only person on wall television that successfully or got fouled?
No, he was just the guy. I asked the question, show me one example of someone just standing there and getting the strap after 30 seconds. And someone mentioned the Alan Fisher, Jamie Sheldon match. So I went and looked at it. And as it turns out, that's not what Jamie did. He didn't just stand there and wait whatever time it was, 30 seconds. He played the game and acted the act. And ultimately, he ended up getting fouled for it. It didn't matter. He won. But
Jamie, did you not want to arm wrestle outside of the strap? Was that the goal, to get the strap, that match with Fish?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was told that I didn't have to. I forgot exactly what the wording was, but I was told that if I wanted to go to the strap, I didn't have to grip up or do anything. 30 seconds, I could go to the strap. So I went into that match knowing that I didn't.
Travis rule.
So I didn't have to grab his hand, but I went over there and just kind of played the game and then backed up. I knew within 30 seconds they were just going to say go to the strap, and they did. And I think they only warned me or fouled me once, and Bart even smiled. I think it was second match because I pulled away, which I don't know. I don't even read the rules because I just I show up to that rules meeting with Bart and we flip a coin, who gets the buckle, okay, and I knew ahead of time that if I wanted to pull Alan in the straps, I didn't have to slip. So that was it.
Okay, I have a question. What year did you pull wall with Fish?
19.
Okay, now it's 2021. If I told you I had a super match and it was wall rules, would you think that I could go straight to the strap if I didn't get a grip today?
Well, I would clarify that first, but nowadays when people say wall rules or UAL rules or WAF rules and it's a super match, they're never strict in any direction. They're making up their own rules. Didn't Michael Todd and Devin make up their own rules?
Exactly.
So I don't think anybody should ever leave a match not happy with the rules being implemented, because you should go over that right there before, and they should be implemented by the referees. So maybe don't call it WAL, don't call it UAL. Say, hey, this is the rule sets for today, and then you should never leave feeling like you got cheated. Am I wrong?
I think wrong, bro. You cool, Jamie?
I think it's very wise to get away from labeling, using rule sets as labels. I think that's a very key point. And actually laying out the rules as you intend to implement them.
Well, and I agree with that, especially for super matches, right?
Yeah.
But then this is what happens. So the super match happens, whoever it is, those guys agreed upon the rules. No one really knows what the rules are, and so then you air it, and the match is now live. And maybe this is a good thing. I mean, this builds drama, right? Drama is great for TV. and everyone starts bitching. Oh, well, the rule says this, and the rule says that. And the other guy says this, and the other guy says that. And the reality is, no, you don't even know what you're talking about because they changed the rules on the fly. So no one really knows what's going on, So, I mean, but that adds drama. So maybe drama is a good thing. Even
some bitch ass shit. Yeah.
Prior drama to the match, post drama.
Okay, so is there a rematch here where we do a super match, all strap matches where people think Dallas will win?
On Facebook, Dallas said something like, I forget again, you'll find it somewhere. Basically he said all strap matches, he'll bet anything, any amount of money as long as it's all strap matches. And I think I was like sitting next to Craig when we read this, and I told Craig what it said, and I replied, okay, that sounds fine. And I forget, but yeah, I know Craig would be up for that. All strap, tight strap, all 5 rounds. We'll come down there. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know what happened to Dallas's knee. I know it hurt pretty bad. Something bad happened. So maybe it's
during the match. During the match.
What?
You heard it?
No, he was stretching before something and something popped.
Right.
That's what I heard. Yeah, I don't.
He like actually hurt himself before the match started.
His knee. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Now Justin Green knew it. I didn't know it until after the tournament. Dallas made that video and he had mentioned that he did it. And I actually think Dallas did tell me after the tournament. He said I hurt my knee beforehand, but he was standing up. He was standing up fine next to me, so I didn't think it was that big a deal. But apparently, it was like he went down. He heard it pretty good.
Derek Smith, you've been a little quiet over there. Are you of the camp that yes, if there's a rematch, Dallas all the way?
I mean, like I said before, like I'll be in Dallas's corner for sure. If in regards to that, I mean, Craig is super impressive, and that match showed how strong Craig is and how versatile he is. I mean, the fact that he could take Dallas to that limit in a hook and then was able to transition to an effective top roll, that's amazing. All credit to Craig, and Craig's an amazing dude, and I like Craig a lot. If it does go to a strap each round, and Bob specified tight strap, so like Dallas's tightness, whatever tightness Dallas wants, then I feel like I would favor Dallas a little bit, because one of the things Dallas was saying was that let's see, first round the hook won, Dallas won. The second one, I think it was the second one. Oh, it was a slip in a losing position. You got the loss with parallel pin, and then the third one though was when Dallas on the replay, Dallas got the pin, but they didn't call it. And then Dallas says he let up a little bit, and then his wrist got cracked because he let up. And then he's like, oh no, and tried to pull again, but his wrist was compromised at that point. And then from then on, his wrist was just out the window for the rest of it. So I don't know, hypothetically, but that's what happened whenever the match is over. Craig's a better man that day. Craig won. But if that didn't happen, well, I mean, if Dallas's wrist would have got cracked, then I wonder, I had
said that exact thing that he said. I said it to Craig. I'm like, if they called that pin, then all that wear and tear on Dallas's wrist and hand never happens. And Dallas is now up 2-1. And so the next match, can Craig get Dallas's wrist to go? Because the next match, let me think. Yeah, the next match, Dallas would have been on the good side of the strap. So all of a sudden, if Dallas gets that pin called, that could very possibly have changed that whole match. Now, in my opinion, I still think Craig would have gotten his wrist to go and won, but definitely a possible different outcome.
I'm 75 times more interested in this matchup after this conversation, and I now want to see a rematch. You guys are not that far away. Let's make it happen.
Well, it's up to them. I mean,
the drama's there. The drama's set up. Everybody wants to see the rematch now. Probably more so than they do, right?
Yeah, I could hear it in Derek's voice. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So now it's like the question is, will Dallas correct those mistakes that he made? Right.
I just don't want to seem like
hey, hold on.
Taking anything away from
let me
Craig.
cut you off. I got some exciting stuff. Look at that guy right over there.
Is that Craig right there?
Is that Tullier?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Ben.
going into the shop. He's up here. He comes.
Hey,
Here's my
Look,
boy.
guys,
Look
he's
at
going
them
to get a
guns.
nice workout.
Look at Jack.
Congratulations.
Look at the
Okay,
back. Look at the back.
this conversation has been awesome, but it did go over a little bit.
Hey,
Bob Brown,
Yeah.
before you
All right.
go,
Rocky the flying squirrel. There
Bob-
he is. Look at Tullier's
Yeah.
back. Tell him
Bob,
to give us a lap shot.
before I lose you, I'd love a little perspective on seeing John. What I watched the little highlight clip of John Brzenk at this event, and I got the feels of like watching him at like a smaller tournament back in the day, just having fun.
Johnny, you don't see Brzenk in the background? Brzenk's there too.
What?
You didn't see John just walk in there?
No, I didn't.
No,
All right.
Bob Brown, what did you know? How long did you know that John was going to come to that event? Did you have any ideas of how it'd go? And give us your thoughts real quick.
I found out the same way everybody else found out that John was pulling Chance. I read it. I texted John and I'm like, is this real? Yep, it's real. All right. I think John's chances, are good, very good. John is, I think Ingantierzi's assessment of John is pretty accurate. John's about 80% of what he used to be. And for nearly all humans on the planet, an 80% John is plenty.
Yeah, Obama.
Chance
It's
Shaw.
Obama.
Chance Shaw. Two things I'll say about Chance. One, crazy, strong,
Hey,
back pressure. Okay. He's got a low hand fishing top roll, which is what I used to do when I was younger. And he is crazy strong at it, which is the exact way. If I was going to pull John, I would pull John. But you still got to get through John's hand, which is just a hard thing to do, man. I mean, it's, John's shoulder is his real issue. And his shoulder really comes into play when he starts to go sideways. But his hand is, I mean, even an 80% hand of John's is pretty ridiculous.
After watching him arm wrestle this weekend, what was your takeaway?
Chance's stock in my mind went up a little bit.
Really?
Still not as high as John's, but it went up.
Why?
Because John is at 80% and not 90%. John had a little bit of an issue with Cody Merritt, and hey, I love Cody, but Cody's right hand is nothing like his left hand. Okay. He did a little after pulling with Jordan Sill, and John used to peel back Jordan's hand like it was on a well-oiled hinge. Sorry, Jordan, but it wasn't going back like a well-oiled hinge at the after pull. And John made a little comment on Facebook or something.
Yeah, well, I just saw that.
Yeah. So, but I still think an 80% John beat Chance, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not crazily blown away if he doesn't, but my dollar's John.
Wow. That's awesome. I can't believe watching him arm wrestle this weekend was like, he's back. He really is. Like, I mean, I don't know if you saw the little video. Yeah, you saw it because you said, hey, John told you not to post videos of him losing, or don't post any videos from that Waxahachie event. But I mean, John was like, I'm done. I'm never arm wrestling again. I'm not competitively. I was sold. Sold.
He
What
decided.
did he said, I can be bought. Anybody can be bought.
Yeah.
You dangle that money. Hey, money talks, boy. You should know this, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll sing. I will sing, Uncle John. I will sing.
I like it.
I looked at their fundraiser, and it looks like they're only up to $1,000. Derek, are you gonna do? I mean, weren't you the one that helped put the Ing and Tersey one over the top? These guys aren't.
Yeah, to get the East versus West guys out there, like
Yeah.
for the plane tickets and stuff. Yeah.
How come this one isn't crushing it?
No, Derek, the other show.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the GoFundMe really. I know Chance is promoting it.
This match is already set, paid for. I mean,
But
Hey,
they're,
Did you
they're
almost
hoping to
say
get.
Travis? Bob, did you almost say Travis?
Travis, no.
Yeah. Okay.
I think a lot of people are picking up on staking at this point, and I think that's
That's the topic we forgot to talk about. Uncle John, staking.
Uncle John is.
You
I'm gonna
said-
I'm gonna let you guys talk about staking. I'm gonna go into the shop with Craig. It was great being on the show.
Yeah, Bob.
You guys have a
Bob.
good night.
Bob, give
I'll
Craig
talk to
a
you
hug.
later. All right, bye-bye. Take it easy,
Tell him
guys.
don't be so
Bob.
impatient.
Bye, Bob.
Yep.
Uncle John, you said staking
Big
is going to
dog.
cause even more hullabaloo. Like if there was,
I think I've already seen it start, and I think that there is certainly a heightened amount of people getting more upset about the rules, even when they clearly don't understand the rules, because the stake that they made did not go their way. And I think the fact that more people are putting more money on these matches is going to hyper focus into the rules. And the one thing that I want people to understand is that arm wrestling has always been full of shenanigans. It's probably always going to be full of shenanigans. So if you can't handle shenanigans and things that aren't quite to your liking, staking on arm wrestling might not be for you.
can I say something? Derek
Bill
Smith.
Collins, Gary. He did a show explaining the rules about Michael Todd versus Devin. The head referee. That's what you need. Right?
Right.
There's your accountability.
Yeah.
Especially if money's involved.
But
The head
they did a
referee
show.
explains the rules.
But they did a show and then the rules got changed from there. Like, even those guys changed at the last minute.
They should have got on and did another show.
Derek Smith, I hate
Yep.
to do this, but you seem a little grumpier than your usual happy Derek.
I'm not grumpy. I was
Happy
just- there's a
to
lot of
be
people
here.
talking.
No,
I'm not one to-
you seem a little grumpy.
Hey, hold on. I don't know if Gary knows, but I'm pretty sure it's public now, right? About the match. Because Neil put out the poster.
There's a lot going on.
Isn't that show tomorrow? Derek and
Yeah, that show's tomorrow.
Derek, are
Is that
you
a
in
four-way?
Arm Wars now?
There is
Look,
a
it's
poster.
looking.
There is here's what I'll say. There is currently a thumbnail and a poster that Neil put up for a show that's happening tomorrow, and that show is going to include Derek Smith, Chance Shaw, Ryan Espy, and Alex Kerdecha. So you know
What?
what's going on.
Oh,
Awesome.
you just got my attention.
Hey, listen, that kid Alex, God, if he knew how to arm wrestle, he has all the tools.
He has tools, that's for sure.
He has
Wait,
all.
Derek?
Hold
Huh?
on.
Never mind.
Why
Don't
did-
answer any of that if you can't.
Why did Uncle
Always
John
how to
change
arm
the
wrestle
subject?
would be savage.
Because it should be celebrated.
You need to work your shoulders, bro. I can see right now. You're too big to have such puny shoulders.
I feel like
Who,
we've
me?
lost.
Shoulders? What are you talking about? Shoulders for days, Cobra?
You
What
need to work
are you
your
talking about right
shoulders,
now?
bro. I mean, if you're gonna do it, with love.
That's it, man. I'm gonna go in there with twice as
What-
big
what do you
shoulders.
do?
Watch day of.
300
You're back.
300 how
Hey,
many pounds?
Hey, let's
That
get
boy's
the
shoulders are crazy.
Let's
You're
get the
day of.
show back on board here.
You work them we
Hold
are.
on.
I'm trying to look up my brother Derek. Gary, quiet
Cobra.
time. We're talking arm
I
wrestling.
love you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Derek, tell
Puny
me,
shoulders.
are you grunt? I felt like you came into the show and you were holding back things you'd like to say about the Dallas Craig Tullier out of like you don't want to cause any drama. Am I wrong here?
No, I mean, I'm not trying to get too much into it. It wasn't my match. Dallas is a friend of mine and Jamie's, and I know we were both on his side a bit in regards to like I know it would suck. I'm putting myself in Dallas's place. Like I have a different outlook on arm wrestling in regards to straps and application and what I look for and how like the morality of all that. But if I put myself in Dallas's shoes, man, that sucks. You know what I mean? Man, that sucks. I think you're the match will go this way. You're gonna get some tight strap each time, not a problem. Fly out there, train for months, fly out there, put all your money up, tell everybody to stake on it, and then the night before, get a tidal wave of just new shit coming your way and different ways to look at it. And we're not gonna tighten it. And I'm thinking that they're gonna foul you, whether this is how they intended or not. Like that's how he took it, and that sucks. You know what I mean? That sucks. No matter which way you look at it. So I feel for my boy.
He had a decent top roll, though, bro. Why didn't you just top roll him?
Dallas, he doesn't use a top roll.
Jamie, you're of the same camp. I just can't believe this guy Dallas went 2 months not realizing that you have to at least attempt to get a grip. Like,
do you really though? In WAL, I don't know what was their agreement and the rules. I was under the impression he was allowed to be in the strap every match, and if that wasn't the case, I don't know. I wasn't in that rules meeting, but knowing that if I had a lot more confidence in the match for Dallas, knowing that he could just start in the strap, meaning he didn't have to grip up any of that. And I was under the same impression. I didn't know it was going to be wall rules or quote unquote, whatever the hell that means. I was under the impression he was going to be able to start in the strap, which would have given him a little bit more of an advantage than I thought. Now, does that discredit Craig? Absolutely not. Craig is smart, he's strong, explosive, crafty, and he could try to figure things out. I think it would have been exciting to see it unfold the way I was told it was supposed to be. And I think that's where Dallas's frustrations lie.
Okay, listen. I'm a glass half. What's glass half full, half empty? What's that too? I'm always thinking of the positive sides, and I understand how this came about. That looks a little shady, but there's got to be an upside to this. That this happened, and so this is good for Dallas. Keep hammering home. I need a rematch, and I think a rematch could get double the attention and excitement, and so there's got to be an upside to that this happens. To think about, and that's my take on it. Tell Dallas. After that first match, it looked like, dude. I think in a rematch, the stakes got to be maybe very even. Like, let's make it happen.
Cheddar, Gary, put up some cheddar. Why don't you do it on ARMTV?
Cheddar. I love. Can I have some cheddar, Derek? Derek, I don't have much time. I gotta go feed my kid like always. Can you just tell me? I was on Facebook.
Yeah, I gotta head out too, guys. But I'll catch up with you, Gary.
Hold on, Jamie. Before you
Tuesdays are terrible for me, man. Look, you see.
Before you go, I'm really excited about this Tom Nelson, Derek Smith. Tom Nelson, man, he used to be the guy back in the day, King of California, and I just want to. Find out your thoughts. When is it happening? How are you feeling? And Jamie, what's your pick on this, Derek?
I'll be there for that. There was an event here in Riverside that I was going to do for my business. Hold on, kids grab my wallet like they normally do.
Yeah. So
I was going to go to that event because it's a good money making event for me. But I know that I got to be there to support Derek. Love Tom, but I got to go with Derek. Okay, honey.
Tom Nelson?
I'm supporting him. New king in town. Let's make that happen.
Is Tom Nelson at the level that he used to be? Like, what is the Tom Nelson that I remember coming to King California?
When was the last time you saw Tom in fresh Tom Nelson form? It's been a while, right?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the Tom Nelson that I remember when I first started. Crazy good, right up there with Marcio, getting wins on who's that Canadian dude?
Sylvain Perron.
Sylvain, yeah, I just saw him in LA a couple years ago. Yeah. So Tom was there, getting that win on Marcio at Worlds. Like, Tom was the man. But this is right-handed, right? And I don't think Tom's been as active. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on up north, but I got to give the nod to Derek. He's a bigger, stronger version of himself. And as long as he comes in and fires off on Tom the way Tom's going to fire off on him, I think Derek's just going to be too much right-handed.
Derek, are you using that fit?
Of course. What kind of question is that?
Derek, are you prepared for how Tom Nelson can get all mean and nasty on the table? How do you
Yeah.
take it when someone gets in your face like that and gets fired up?
In that moment, I don't know, like you saw the last Hawthorne event. I probably won't even notice that Tom's getting, I'm pretty tense myself. I get pretty hyped up myself. I probably won't register that Tom's being hyped up as well.
Hey, Derek, just turn on the Derek Smith of when that guy walked into your bar. Then he shouldn't have been in your bar. Remember that conversation we had? Be that Derek. You're the biggest dude on the
as far as
planet.
intensity goes, yeah, I know Tom's going to run his mouth and stuff, but I mean, in that moment, I know I won't be too worried about it.
Daniel,
Derek's not gonna be a dick.
we're trying.
Yeah, but once he realizes he's the biggest man in the room and then can fire off on somebody, but I don't think any arm wrestler can make Derek that mad. But I wouldn't want to make Derek mad. Remember, 6'9", 400 pounds.
My stats go up every time someone.
With
They keep
huge
going up.
shoulders.
I like it. 7
Okay,
foot, 450.
Jamie, thank you for coming on. Have a good night. I appreciate seeing you and your
Yep.
little
Love you
daughter's
guys.
face.
Call me
Bye-bye.
anytime. But as long as we schedule something, Gary, I can talk longer. This is hard, especially Tuesdays. You know,
I know. We started with Tuesdays and kind of.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jamie,
don't take anything from me.
can you
I'll
go on
catch up with
my
you guys.
channel for a
Okay.
live feed?
See you
Uncle
guys. What's that?
I need Jamie on my channel. And Derek, you're supposed to collab with me too. I'm mad.
Absolutely.
it.
Let's schedule it. Guys, call me. Let me know.
Okay.
Love you.
Uncle John, can you close out the show with a little bit about the staking? I still don't know if I get it. Is staking the future of bringing like more attention? Like if someone stakes, does that mean other people that aren't arm wrestlers are finding it on DraftKings and logging in? Like, is that a bringing?
So I
masses?
don't know what the answer to that is. We will see with time. I think staking is a very interesting thing that can bring certain members of the community together and might in fact bring people from outside of the community into arm wrestling because they're more of bettors. They like to gamble their money, right? Which that's cool too. For me personally, I'm going to go pretty deep into staking, not necessarily with money, but I'm going to be making a lot of content revolving around staking starting
Is it
this
because
week.
of the staking?
Because of the staking. I think staking is going to be really hot. Like look at Chance and John. They've sold out 5-6 blocks now, I think. So people are really interested in staking. I understand that it's gambling, so it's a little bit of a little gray area. I never want to promote gambling if you're not able to do it responsibly. Always do it responsibly. But I think it's going to be really big. And I think people are really going to be into it. And I think as someone who's been watching arm wrestling for a very long time, who has been betting on like having side bets on arm wrestling for a very long time, I think I'm going to clean house. So
Will we be able to stake on you in Arm Wars?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure. I was actually just going to ask you, Derek, are you and Tom going to be stakeable? Have you?
Yes, we will be stakeable for sure.
How do you know that? Like, what did you do? What do you have
I
to
talked to Devin, and he told me he's going to stake the match. And that's pretty much all we had now.
So Devin is the stake king now.
He's kind of the guy to get the ball rolling.
And how? Like he now works with DraftKings? I don't understand. Like
no, so it's not DraftKings. It's Stake. What is it? Stake Kings.
Stake
Stake
Kings.
Kings.
My bad.
So basically, ARMBet runs these. I don't know how it all works, but ARMBet comes up with these matches and runs it through Stake Kings. So when you make a stake, you're making it through the Stake Kings website, not through ARMBet necessarily. But ARMBet is the one that facilitates you to get from point A to point B. Okay.
And when will we be able to, like, let's say, log in? Here's the thing. I keep finding out about this after they're sold out. Like I found out you could stake John Brzenk, but it's sold out. Like, how is that even possible?
Okay. So here's how it works. They start with blocks of money, right? So the block might be, let's say it's $1,000. Okay. So Chance and John both have $1,000 that people can stake on them. If somebody puts $1,000 bet on John Brzenk, boom, sold out. Then once Chance builds up to 1,000, they both sell out, and then a new block opens up. So you kind of have to be paying attention. Right now, John Brzenk is sold out, but Chance Shaw is literally he's got 0.91% left to sell out of his block. So likely by tomorrow morning, there will be full new blocks. So you would be able to stake on John Brzenk again.
And a block is only $1,000.
I don't know what the blocks are. I don't know if it's consistent. That was just an example. I would
And
say
how
it's
much-
more than 1,000.
And these are straight up even bets, no odds. at this
No,
point.
so basically they will give you, if you put in, so let's say I want to bet on Artem Taranenko versus Jamie Sheldon, and I want to bet $50 on Artem. My $50 would win me $85.71, but that includes the $50 that I put in. So I'm really only winning $35.71.
Mhm.
So it's not, you're not making a ton of money like you would be in other games, but this is how they kind of get around the whole illegal aspect.
But you can lose your 50.
Correct. If you lose, you are out the money.
So I'm not 100% sure if you only win 35, but you lose 50.
Yeah, I mean, so that's it. But the deal is you gotta be smart in how much you bet, when you bet, where you bet, and if you're a guy like us and you're obsessed with arm wrestling, the goal is to get more than 50% of these things right. So yeah. I believe I very easily will be above 50%. Right now, in the last 5 matches I bet on, I'm 5 for 5. That was the king of the table. I got all 3 of those right. I got Chance Shaw in the Fatal 4-Way, and I got Craig Tullier versus Dallas Langston, and I was 80% in the last WAL season. So
how much did Craig Tullier make off of?
It was about the same. I think I bet 30 and got around. I think I bet 30 on Craig and got around 48 or something.
Someone in the chat said save your money. I'm not 100. I don't know if I'm going to become a big bettor, but I'm interested in the.
That's interesting.
Will this help grow arm wrestling concept? Like, people who listen. I've been to Vegas. There's crazy people who just are addicted to gambling. Yeah. I could foresee somebody.
River, man.
I could
dives. That's exciting. Real
I could foresee somebody who's bored of betting on the same old sports being like, oh, this would be fun to bet on something different. I can totally see that.
Money is going to grow the sport. Money will bring in all the old dogs. Travis will get big again. Everybody come out of the woodworks. There's more money. So money will grow the sport. And you throw money in the sport, it'll get bigger.
I'll show up at 240 pounds.
There we go. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. So do you have any idea how much like a block would be for you and Tom Nelson?
I haven't worked out the specifics of it.
Wow, I'm interested to see where this goes. And like Devin, man, he's the puppet master. He's doing crazy shit now. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I love it. So be on the lookout for The Stake, my new show where I'm going to talk all about it. But my predictions will no longer be free. I'm telling you this now. Stay tuned on Friday for more information.
Oh, no longer be free. Can I ask you, speaking of, I was watching your practice match, left-handed practicing, and I saw you have like a partial tattoo on your upper arm. What is going on?
Oh, yeah. This is my bad tattoo that I got when I was like 18, and I've had it lasered like 3 times.
Oh, so you're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's to the point now where I can get a tattoo over the top of it. So I'll probably get a sleeve at some point. There you go.
One more question about the Dallas Langston match. Was there more people upset because it was a staked match?
I'm sure. I mean, some.
Hey, you guys, I love you. Have a great night.
See you, Cobra.
How come I feel like I always get on Cobra Road's nerves?
See that? You have to run your head, boy. Lock out that jaw.
I asked Here's the deal. Every once in a while, if you're going to do what I do and you talk for a living.
Gary, I love you.
You got to ask. You got to ask not. Let me finish. You got to ask 9.
Tag out that jaw, son. Okay, you running that thing. It's about to. Oh, God. Let me do a Bobby Brown right here. Excuse me.
I'm just kidding. Every once in a while, you got to ask dumb questions to get a good one.
Hey, one more thing about staking. A couple people in the chat brought up the 4-way. When it's a 4-way, the odds are way better. So I put it was my first stake on that website. I put $30 on Chance. I should have put like 1,000, but like I won like $105 off of 30. So the four-way odds are much better than one-on-one. But obviously then you're choosing from 4 people instead of 2.
Don't the odds change as you sell out blocks though?
It does, but it doesn't seem like a lot. It's not in a huge way, but I could be wrong on that. But I've just been kind of paying attention, and it seems a little bit of a variation, but not huge.
Can you repeat who the 4 in the Arm Wars with Derek? It's Ryan, you,
Ryan Espy, Chance Shaw, Alex Kadecha, and myself.
Dude, that sounds like a very fun matchup.
It sounds like Chance is going to be the little man amongst giants.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like we're going to be partying in the UK is what it sounds like. It's going to be awesome, dude.
That I'm really
vaccines and travel accommodations allowing. This is going down.
Yeah. Congratulations, Neil Pickup. That really excites me. That list of names right there. Sean Mites, I want to hear what Gary had to say. Yeah, now I'm lost. I don't know what. It's just I now know there's like I think the 4th show in a row where I say something and Cobra Rhodes is like, "What the fuck is this guy saying?"
Let the Predator talk.
You win some, you lose some. I thank you very much, guys, for coming on, Derek. Dude, I feel like this is a big opportunity for you, dude.
My September's filling up pretty quick.
Hit it hard, bro. I want to see you just freaking head to the moon like all these dudes going to the stars.
Me too. Right. If this match goes down though, this puts a lot more emphasis on the Tom Nelson match, right? Yeah. So if I get this 4-way, then I'll really be showing my cards with the Tom Nelson match, right? Because if the 4-way goes down, it'll be at the end of September. And so the Tom Nelson match is September 4th, Labor Day. So whatever I show against Tom Nelson, there's not too many gains to be made between Tom Nelson and the 4-way, right? So it's going to kind of debut what's going on. So
but Tom Nelson hasn't been around. Tom Nelson's no slouch, he hasn't been arm wrestling a lot. So I don't know if we could I don't know if you're showing too many cards by.
No, but you got to think in regards to staking now, Gary, right? So say I beat Tom, but we have a war. That means we're somewhere around each other, right? If we have a war and even if I win, then the staking for the 4-way, if I don't sell out my blocks, nobody makes money. I have to be a real contender in that 4-way, right? So the way I handle Tom is really going to influence the staking and everything for the 4-way.
That's 4D chess here. 4D chess. All right.
Yep. Hey, we got another super chat, late super chat from Lloyd Christmas says, Derek beats the guy that's overhyped this. Next year will be great.
All right. Well, man, I guess I'm going to have to try to see if I can go to Arm Wars. Yeah. Neil said I'd come, right? Do my behind the scenes thing. All right, guys. Woo! I forgot to mention Travis Bajan asked me to blow up his event that's coming up here. I didn't talk about it.
Next week we'll talk all about that.
Next week we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you in the chat, everyone, for your being here and supporting us. I'm almost done with the work here at the house, and I'll get back to updating ARMTV. And dude, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. And thanks everyone. Bob Brown coming on the show. Yeah, he does know the rules well, man. That guy, he knows his shit.
If Bob Brown wasn't around and it was just Craig Tullier versus Dallas Langston, would everything have been the same?
That's what I asked.
Hey, we need a rematch. All right.
Bob's not allowed to come to the rematch or influence it at all.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night. I got to go. I can hear my kid running around.
Have a good one.
Good night. Thank you very much.